Alright, so if this is day number 2 working on this. If you can see in the video here, the setup I was trying to use previously isn't working quite the way it needs to. So, I picked up some additional supplies. Because that's for the Home Depot that I went to originally didn't have this stuff. That's why I didn't get it the first time. So, let's get some more of this stuff done. I'm going to start. Part of my problem is it's coming up and then trying to bend over. I picked up a 90 to go here. So, let's just start real quick. Well, probably shut that water off first. I'm sure you guys would have been entertained by that one. We got water off there. Off there. Alright. There shouldn't be anything left in here now. Go just below the top of the wood. And there we go. Alright. Now back to the bench. Okay. How I'm going to try to fix that. Piece of scrap over here. Out of the initial 100-foot roll, this is what I have left. I have a second roll, but I don't think I'm going to need it. Based on the size of that box and having a 90 that I'm going to put here, not the most organized, but trying to keep this stuff somewhat picked up so it's not all over the place. Got 90-degree elbow. It's going to go down so that way it comes up the side of the box, go through here, and go into, I don't know, the right one, ½ inch. I bought multiple sizes, so I have spares and also been working on the things later. Then it'll make it flatter going across the box, and I've got different types of emitters. .7 outer diameter. That's what I was looking for. I thought I saw that one. It's fallen off the bench the previous time I was out here. Keep that so I know what size I'm working with. Yeah, this 5/8 compression elbow is meant for .704 diameter. So it should work perfectly on this .7 diameter hose. Now it's going to be tight, which is what you want. Now, it makes it easier to get these on. You don't just brute force shove them. You have to push them in line to get them, once they kind of slip a little bit to get started, and you actually seesaw them back and forth on the pipe, and it walks its way in. Just like that. Based on the size of the box, I'm going to go with about that length. Actually, I'm going to take just a little bit off of that. Again, just using some basic garden shears to cut this. They make specialty cutters. Big plastic handle and a blade. It looks a lot like these things do. Okay. The previous time I was working out here, I couldn't find any of these. It is just a threaded hose cap that compression fits over the hose, over the black hose, and it goes to a garden hose. I like these better than just the turn them over and kink it way, just because that I can expand later if I need to. Now, because these are compression fits, and the hose, type of hose and whatnot, they are not a high pressure system. Earlier in the video, you saw I made a reference to a regulator, an inline regulator. You definitely want to use those because your standard residential water system can spike in pressure with enough force to pop these fittings. This one here, part of why it was so messed up was I didn't have the elbow, as well as I had it hooked in, and I was trying to lean over top of the garden box, and use the poke the hole, tap it, not tap it, but insert everything. This one, I'm gonna do it the easy way. I'm gonna build this on the bench and then just connect it over there. Some 4-inch barbs. We still have the same 1/4-inch hose. I got a handful or several packs of adjustable full circle bubblers on stakes, is what they call it. Basically, it's got a stake so it holds itself in the ground properly, and it emits 360, but you can adjust how much gallons per minute it emits, and it's a soaker essentially. It's a controlled soaker. This piece of mainline hose, being that has holes in it, is no longer usable. All this 1/4 inch and these 2 gallon per hour, emitters, I can pull them out of there and reuse those. Because they haven't sat in the sun very long. If they sat in the sun very long, you just throw them away. They're not that expensive. That emitter actually came out with those. Oh, and for those that don't know what I mean by the bend over and kink, that's, you know, that's kind of the standard way a lot of people use to close off the ends of these. It works, it's cheap, I'm not a big fan. Let's start building a new one. Now, previous time I was doing this, the store at Home Depot I went to didn't have any of the hole punch setups in stock, so I just grabbed a 16-penny nail. Worked, not the right way to do it. On these, with the saw, a couple minutes ago, a lot of the emitters I had were in the top, and then the hose had to arch over. That's because I was trying to sit over top of it and do it while I was leaning over it. Now that I'm working off the bench, emitters in the sides, so the hose is coming straight out, works a lot better. These are plastic. They do have a pretty good point on them. You don't really want to slip and hit your hand, so just be careful. The hose isn't real thick, doesn't take, you don't have to, like Barry putting it, dig to the other side of the world when you're going through it. Just a nice steady pressure with a few twists. Shut off on me. I hope it actually got everything I was doing. If not, recap. Just cut a new length of the large diameter hose, disassembled the old one so I can reuse some of the components. And the hose is, in theory, going to be laying in a particular orientation in the box, based on the 90. You want these 1/4 inch emitters to come roughly from the sides. Makes it easier so it's not arching up and over. That work. Since I'm reusing this hose because it's not very old, it shouldn't leak. And even if it does, it'll be leaking into the box, so it's not that big of a, I'm not that worried about it. and the adjustable full circle stream bubblers on a stake. You know, so it's going to be like that with, I've got strawberries and, green onions and 3 types of herbs in that box. So that's, and that's the setup I'm going to be using. I'm not going to bore you with making you watch the entire thing. Be right back. Okay, and you can see now it's assembled in, and you can see how these work. I've got one in each of the herbs. I guess, a couple of them are splitting a couple of the herbs. And then I've got two 2-gallon-an-hour emitters with drip line straight to my strawberry plant. Being that I've got a single plant here, so I'm trying to water it directly, I went with the drip lines. Because the herbs are multiple small plants, I went with the soaker emitters. And that will allow me to water, very precisely and very automated. Thanks in part to the control box, which is programmed for daytime and duration. And it looks like I've got a leak in there I need to fix. That way, even when I'm not home, garden still gets watered. There's the easy part. There's the herb garden. Now I get to deal with the tomatoes, squash, and jalapenos. I'm not going to make everyone sit back and watch that one. I'll do that one, it's the same process as here. So, I hope this video is useful to somebody. If anyone has any real questions and wants to know what kind of parts to get, drop your questions in the comments. If I don't have it here, I might just have to go to the local hardware store and do some filming right there in the aisle and show people what I'm getting, or what I suggest getting. Anyhow, hope that is helpful to somebody. Hope everyone has a wonderful day. One last thing before I'm sitting down with the video. At Home Depot, when I originally bought my supplies, I needed a Y for my hose outlet. It's down in there behind the barbecue. So that way I can have my hose, still be available for if I need it, as well as have the garden ready to go at all times. Home Depot only had the cheapo zinc-plated Ys. So I bought the time because I was trying to get stuff done. Well, since I had to go to the hardware store and pick up more supplies anyhow, and I actually went to an Ace Hardware, little mom and pop joint's been there forever. I actually prefer Ace Hardware over the big box stores, but I went to what was closest first. But since I had to go back, I picked up a solid brass Y. This should last me a lot longer. They are both ball valve designs rather than the old gate valves that, I guess the Ys generally have been ball valves as opposed to gates, but I prefer these because they don't get gunked up with junk as badly. So, yeah, that's the last of the, that's the last of the video. Tricked you guys trying to sign off there for a second, huh? Seriously, though. Hope everyone has a wonderful day. Talk to you later. Bye. I'd like to thank everyone for stopping by the channel. If you want to see more of my content, I encourage you to check out my website, calaveras32special.com. Links below in the description. I also encourage you to check out gunchannels.com online, two-way community, set up and operated about 5 years ago at this point, by G-Webs, or Mr. Gun Websites. He is a avid activist for, our two-way rights, so that's where I encourage you to stop by there, as well as his website, gearwebsites.com, where where a lot of his financing comes from, to help him, fight for our rights. I hope you guys are, willing to stop by, both of those websites. Oh, and before I get on mine, I have my Spreadshirt store link and my Patreon link over there for anyone who is so inclined as to helping out the channel. Much appreciated. And anything I decide any money I get over there, I'll be putting back into the channel, and I'll be giving my patrons a chance to chime in as to what they think I should be using it on. I want to say again, thank you very much for stopping by. Have a wonderful night.